The Metaphysical Hour. And we're going to have another wonderful guest tonight and a lot of things to talk about. Before we begin, I want to give out the toll-free number if anyone wants to call in. The number is 877-876-5227. 877-876-5227. And that number is toll-free anywhere in the world. So anyone that is listening in anywhere on the planet will be able to call in if they want to. As a rule, not very many call in. I guess they get too busy listening anyway. Okay. Before we talk with our guest, I do want to talk a little bit about the conference that's coming up. My company is Ozark Mountain Publishing, and we're putting on our first conference. We're calling it the Transformation Conference, and it's going to be in Fayetteville, Arkansas, at the Clarion Inn on June the 3rd and the 4th. And this is our very first one that we have done, and we're very excited about it because we are promoting most of our authors at this conference. The keynote speaker at the conference is going to be the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, Arun Gandhi, and he will be the one I will be interviewing next week. So there's going to be some good speakers. I do want to mention another man who is coming out of retirement. This is a rare appearance. This is Aaron Abramson. Now, back in the 70s, Aaron Abramson was very famous psychic. He doesn't like to be called a psychic, but he was a forerunner before John Edwards and James Van Praagh. He was doing the psychic readings, and he calls them the Akashic Record life readings. He did thousands and thousands of these all over the world, and he was a very famous man. And then he went into retirement. We published his book, but he has not done any public speaking in many years. But I'm sure there's many of his loyal followers out there because we get mail saying, what is he doing? Does he still do any readings? Now, he'll be there on a very rare appearance, so this is a good time to be able to come and hear Aaron Abramson. All right, my guest tonight is Christine Ramos. She's our newest author that our company is publishing. She's so new that her book is just now coming off the press. We wanted her to be a speaker at the conference, but the problem was how do we get her book out in time? Because I want to have it there so that she can sign it. But whenever you're working under a deadline, it gets hectic, and that's what we've been doing. Very close deadline to get that book to the printers, and it's supposed to be off the press next week. So we're cutting it very close to have her book at the conference. But Christine is a very unique person, and I'm going to let her talk here now. Okay, Christine, I want you to tell them about yourself, your background.
Well, I am a registered nurse. I am a certified childbirth educator. I'm a certified doula and a certified breastfeeding counselor. Prior to becoming a nurse, I worked in the social service field for 9 years as a counselor and then later as an administrator. And that was for the population of the mentally ill and substance abusers.
So you've had a wide range of experience, haven't you?
Yeah, yes, I have. But I think it gave me the unique perspective of seeing health and wellness for the physical and the mental, as well as my own personal background in spirituality. So it gave me that benefit of seeing all of those perspectives, and I think that's what really helped to create this book.
Yes, Christine's book is called A Journey into Being, and it's from a different perspective because she's writing about babies because she has been an obstetric nurse for many years, but she's coming at it from a different angle. She's writing about the babies as spirit and getting people to see them in that way. Isn't that true?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's long been time that we look at our children as spirit, because they have very distinct needs when they're first born. When you think about it, you have the vulnerability of their body and their fragility of mind, and then you combine that with an eternal or a timeless soul, and you come up with a person with very distinct, or a little person with very distinct needs.
Yes, according to the traditional way of looking at it, it's just a baby being born that has no, nothing there. They just feel, I guess, that you have to form it out of nothing.
Right.
And that it's, it's very influenced by everything that happens to it. They don't think of it as being...
No, that's so wrong. Before a baby is born, know that this baby had a beginning long before it is your child. Like I write in the book, a baby can have the mother's eyes, the father's dimples, and the brother's curly brown hair, but know that the child's soul it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to something greater that created it.
As the average way of looking at it is that it is just a biological being.
Right.
But we know, from metaphysics, it's far more than that.
Oh, it is.
Uh-huh. What made you decide to write this book?
Well, basically, my second pregnancy really propelled me into writing something. Now, what happens is that, usually parents or soon-to-be parents, they'll read everything that they can about the mechanics of bringing new life into this world. They'll read all of the pregnancy books, what to expect and all of that. I found that something was missing. I said to myself, nothing out there is really capturing the enormity of bringing new life into this world. Nothing is really grasping at that spiritual aspect of, the whole coming of new life. And I searched and I searched for a book like I created. And there was really nothing out there. Of course, there are books on reincarnation. There are books on the indigo children. There are books about, life between lives. But there was nothing about the baby coming into the world. And that's exactly what I wanted. So I basically took everything that I knew from the whole medical field, being a nurse. I took what I knew as being a mother. I took what I knew as being an intuitive, and I took what I knew as being a social or in the social work field. And I put that all together, and this is what I created. But basically, I saw a really clear need for something like this, not only for parents, but for the healthcare field, for the educational field. Anybody who works with a child, I think, can really benefit from knowing these unique little nuances that really not everybody knows about a baby or young children.
Yeah, they're not used to thinking of it that way. That's why I think this book is going to reach a lot more people if they'll start thinking about it, that there is an eternal soul, eternal spirit that does reincarnate time after time in many bodies.
Yeah.
And this is what's really happening with the soul that's coming into the body of the new baby that's being born.
Right. And that soul is present from the moment that they're born. As a matter of fact, a midwife, I gave I had a speaking engagement 2 days ago, and I was speaking to a midwifery organization, and we were talking about how the character of a baby is present from the moment that they open their eye, the moment that they come out. And somebody said, no, that's evident even before they come out. It's evident in the belly,
Uh-huh.
And it's so true. Never look at a baby as a clean slate.
Well, that's the way the professionals usually do.
Exactly.
Maybe we're going to be able to make them to look at it a little different.
And the whole nature versus nurture.
Yeah, because, in my work with hypnosis, I've taken many people through their birth experience, and they're very aware when they are in the utero. They know everything that's going on, and they know when they enter the body. And you also believe, too, that the baby picks the parents, too, before coming in.
Oh, yes. So that's just part of, the spiritual lessons that all of us are here for.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's my firm belief that there's nothing random about the parents that we choose. I mean, we choose a situation before birth. We choose a situation as a spirit that will best suit our needs in terms of growth. spiritual growth and evolution, and just working on issues that will perfect us, for lack of a better saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I find in my work, because I work a lot with karma and people coming to me with family problems, that usually we will pick someone that we have been with before, and that I found we do make a contract, we make a deal with the people that we want to come back together with.
That's right. Long
before we enter the body, saying this is what we're going to do. Usually they'll say, well, we didn't do such a good job last time, did we? Let's come back and let's make a contract and try to do it again.
Well, that's another thing that a lot of people have difficulty understanding is when, say, a child dies. It's like, right away, why would God allow, such an innocent being to pass away? Why would a child be born only for God to take it away? And really, that's not what's going on. A child may have knowledge of their passing even before they're born. In other words, that might be part of a pact that they had with another soul peer of theirs. And I speak about this in the book. There's something that I call sacrificial development, and that's exactly what that is. A soul can opt to sacrifice themselves out of pure love for the development of another person. Let's say if it's the mother that needs to learn something here.
Yeah.
The child, could, before their birth, have a pact with this other person and say, look, as your child, I will choose to sacrifice my being so that it can help you grow in a way that only doing that can do.
Yes, and see, we're not aware of what the other lives were before this,
That's
what
right.
went on with these different people that would make them decide to come back and have a pact like this.
That's right.
But I know I deal a lot with people who have lost children, and I know it's very difficult. But that's all part of the lesson that we're supposed to be learning. Everything in life is a lesson, and that doesn't make it any easier, but at least we can look at it in a different way to know we're supposed to be learning from something from the situation. Otherwise, then I think that would be the regrettable thing if this happened and the person didn't learn anything from it.
That's exactly right. One of the things I write in the book is that the relationship you have with the relationship you share with your children is by far one of the most powerfully defining relationships you can have. It can have the power to make your spirit grow in a way like no other relationship can. And I'm sure a lot of people who have children can testify to that.
Yeah.
Because of the great emotional bond that you share with your own child.
And that's where, I have a lot of clients that have come to me with problems about these things. Mm-hmm. But many, many times when I have them under and we go back through these things, it always comes up that the child made an agreement that it was only going to live even a few months, maybe even a few hours.
Yes.
So that there would be something that the parent could learn from it.
Yes.
And who knows, maybe they